Grace School. Here we are.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still...
Michael Cooper.
You! Stay back, bestower. I've got a gun.
Just a second.
I said stay back!
Whoa, calm down. I'm not here to hurt you.
Oh yeah? Tell that to Leah and George and the others.
They both died before I could do anything. I'm sorry.
Death is nothing. We all expect to be dead at the end of this. That is the whole point. What about their souls? I knew it. This wasn't supposed to happen. This wasn't the plan.
Plan?
Yes. Our brilliant plan. We get the bestower to escort our souls to the next world. Protect us from this force that is after us. Instead, you let us be destroyed.
You think I wanted this to happen? People dying, souls torn apart? You think I want this?
Of course not. It's just... well, look at what we've been reduced to.
I'm sorry. Whatever is going on, it's new. I've never seen anything like it before.
I see. And what about him?
Huh?
Your friend. The man behind you. He hasn't said a word since you walked in here.
Me? Do you mean me?
Yes, you. Don't look so surprised. How else could I have known who you were? Now get out of here. You've been nothing but trouble ever since George went to look for you.
Fine. Shoot. Kill the one person who can help you.
There is no need for any more killing, my host.
That voice. It can't be.
Oh, it is.
I told you to stay in the other room.
Yes, my host, I know. But I had to intervene. These two know me. If I may...
Fine. Fine. Just make it quick. I'm losing concentration.
Mallone, Blackwell, what a pleasant surprise to see you both again.
Yeah, surprise is the word. What the hell are you doing here?
Is it not obvious? You freed me, Mallone, brought me back into this world, and as befits all of our kind, I had a host waiting for me, and so I have returned to my former duties.
Look, as much as I am touched by this reunion, I need to focus.
Perhaps we should all converse outside.
Fine, outside. Just leave me in peace.
Thank you, my host.
You're a bestower too?
What gave it away? The spirit guide who won't leave me alone? Look, maintaining this circle leaves me a bit cranky. Sorry. If you can help, great. If not, well, I've made my peace with it. Just go talk to her. She's outside. I need to concentrate. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake.
Okay, let's go talk to Madeline.
Blackwell, Mallone, it's been a long time since we've been able to converse.
It's been almost 6 months since Joey freed you. How come we're only seeing you now?
I admit the transition hasn't been pleasant. I have had 3 hosts since returning to this world. The first was an old man on the edge of death. He lingered for 6 weeks before finally succumbing to the inevitable. When the old man passed, I became bound to his niece for a time. She ran every time she saw me. I tried to keep my distance, give her time to adjust, but in the end, she fell down the stairs in an attempt to flee. The poor woman died, and I was passed to her brother, the man inside.
Do you know what's going on? Why are these souls being attacked?
I do not know. I wish I did. Like you, we saw it happen. We saw a soul being torn apart and could do nothing. I'm afraid my host became a little unreasonable after that.
Why was George looking for me?
We needed a bestower. A proper bestower. My host and I were not up to the task.
Eh?
It might be due to my time in the void. It might be because my host's soul has been marked by whatever is out there. But in any case, our abilities are limited. We cannot even help lost souls move on as you do. We can see them and talk to them, but that is all. Hence why we needed you.
Lucky us.
So what can we do? We don't even know what's going on.
Our theory was that you could help move these poor souls into the next world before they were destroyed. But it appears that it did not achieve the desired result.
You could say that, yeah.
You must investigate. My host and I are restricted, but you two are not. If anyone can help uncover why these poor spirits are being attacked and stop it, it is you.
So how'd you like being on the outside, as it were? I imagine it's better than being trapped wherever you were.
I had thought, I had hoped, that I would pass on, that being brought back to the mortal world would force me to obey mortal laws. Instead, No, it is not to be. I have returned to my former duties, therefore I must have further work to do. But yes, it is nicer than being trapped in the void. Did I ever thank you, Mallone?
Not as such, no.
Well, I must rectify that. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Anytime.
What can you tell me about Father Michael?
Cooper is my host. We have not had the time to get to know each other better.
Is he always this ornery?
Do have some pity for him. He has lost his uncle, his sister, and several of his friends. He has been forced to accept the spirit world and the possible loss of his own soul, all within the span of a few weeks. If anyone deserves some understanding, it is he.
Do you know anything about this Grace group?
I know that it meant a great deal to my host, as well as his friends. Whatever happened at those meetings, it greatly improved their lives. But obviously, it came at a cost.
Well, I suppose we'll talk to you soon.
Of course.
Okay, we need to go back to Michael Cooper, because he has some information for us that we need.
Father
The
Michael?
Lord is my shepherd. Yeah?
What is this circle?
Oh, this. Madeline taught me how to do it. It prevents anything spiritual from getting to me. It takes some concentration to maintain, so I'm sorry if I seem a bit inhospitable.
How did you learn what was happening?
You mean that our souls were being taken?
Yeah.
It was a few weeks ago. I was at the bedside of a friend. Jeffrey, his name was. He went to the Grace Group meetings back in the day. Like me. He had been in a car accident. Hit and run. He was dying, and he wanted me there. And when he died, I saw it. His spirit being torn apart. He screamed. I'll never forget that scream.
I know. I saw it too.
Anyway, with Madeline's help, I began looking into other members of the group and learned it was happening to all of us. You know the rest.
So you're working with Madeline?
Working? I guess you could call it that. I've been too busy being scared to give it any serious thought.
Could you tell me about the Grace group? It was some kind of self-help group?
About 20 years ago, I was a very different person. I suppose you could call me an alcoholic, although I wouldn't have said it at the time. Then I saw an ad in the newspaper. It promised to help folks like me find their way. It seemed to be some kind of hippie self-help group, but I went to a meeting anyway. I don't remember much about the meetings, but somehow I had discovered that going to seminary school was something I had to do. It all made sense.
Made sense.
I just knew it was what I was meant to be doing, and I was right.
What about yourself? Is there anything we should know?
Look, you're not exactly catching me at my best here. I can't do anything. I'm not a true bestower like you are. Madeline says she's been weakened, or I've been weakened, or something. She doesn't know. Believe me, if I could do what you can do, I'd be out there trying to stop this. But I can't. So all I can do is hide.
Is there anything else you could tell us about the Grace group?
No. You know everything I do.
What happened at these meetings?
That's just it. I don't remember. Until recently, I never questioned it before. How messed up is that? I'd go, I'd sit down and leave. I'd meet with the other members for coffee afterward. What on earth did we talk about? We must have found something. But I do remember a man. Benjiro. He ran the meetings.
Benjiro?
Yeah, Japanese guy. I don't remember anything else about him.
How many people went to these meetings?
There were 6 of us. You already know about Leah and George and myself. The others are dead.
Who were they?
Does it matter? They are dead. Their souls were taken.
Even still, tell me.
Jeffrey Dutta, Heather Goffstein, Peter Fielding.
Could you tell me about Jeffrey?
God, Jeffrey Dutta. Talk about transfiguration. When he walked into that Grace Group meeting, I thought he was in the wrong place. I mean, the guy was a Wall Street broker, for crying out loud. He could have bought the church and everything in it. But he later confessed that he tried to kill himself. Twice.
So what happened to him?
He became a professional dog walker. Can you believe it? He used to pocket millions a year, plus bonuses. Then he was picking up dog crap for $25 an hour and smiling about it. He was hit by a car crossing the street. A hit and run. I was at his bedside when he died. Madeline had been around for about a month at that point, so I saw his spirit rise from his body. I thought I was supposed to help him, but instead You know what happened next.
Could you tell me about Peter?
Peter Fielding, yes. I never had much contact with him. He died several months ago. I'm afraid it's too late for him.
You saw his soul being taken?
Well, no. He died before Madeline came into my life, so I can't say for sure. But he went to Grace Group meetings, and he's dead. What other conclusion can I reach?
Tell me about Heather Goffstein. You said she was a member of your group.
Yes, she was one of us. I asked George if he knew where she was. He told me she was dead. I'm afraid it's too late for her.
Is this like Peter? Did you actually see her soul being taken?
No, I didn't. Thank heaven I didn't. Seeing it happen once is more than I can take.
How exactly did Peter Fielding die?
Why? Are you going to try and find his spirit? There is no spirit. It's gone.
You said it yourself. You don't know for sure.
It was some kind of accident. I'm not sure of the details. I read about his death in the obituaries. Too late for his funeral, sadly, but I said a prayer for him.
How did Heather Goffstein die?
I'm afraid I don't know. George was the one who kept in touch with her. He told me she died, but he didn't tell me how or when. I suppose it doesn't matter anymore.
So why'd you send Madeline outside?
Her presence disturbs my concentration, so she's keeping as far away as she can until this is resolved.
What about us?
You're the ones who are going to save my hide. For you, I'll make the extra effort to focus.
All right, Michael. We're going to go.
Of course. Godspeed to the both of you. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me
Madeline?
Yes, Blackwell.
Do you know anything about Peter Fielding? He was in the Grace Group with Michael.
I have never met him. He passed away before I became bonded with my host.
Michael believes his soul was already taken.
He might be right, but he may not be. If his spirit still exists, you are the ones to find it.
Do you know anything about Heather Goffstein? She was in the Grace Group with Michael.
I know of her, but I have never met her. She passed away before my host and I became bonded. I never encountered her spirit.
Michael believes her soul was already taken.
It is certainly possible, but I refuse to lose hope until I see the evidence.
Well, I suppose we'll talk to you soon.
Of course.
Okay. Is this it? Wasn't Madeline supposed to give me something? Maybe not yet.
Officer Palmer?
Yeah, what can I do for you?
Okay, we need some information.
Do you have a record of a Jeffrey Dutta? He was killed in a hit and run.
Let's see. Yep, hit and run, like you said. Technically, the case is open, but nobody has any hopes that it will be solved.
Can you tell me anything about the death of a Mr. Peter Fielding?
Okay, let's see. Yep, here he is. Peter Fielding, age 54, owned a fitness center in Murray Hill called Field's Gym. He fell off a ladder while fixing a light bulb in the locker room, hit his head on the bench, and bled to death. Nobody found him for several hours. An ambulance was called and pronounced him dead at the scene.
Nothing more than that?
That's pretty open and shut. Accidental death.
Do you have any record of a Heather Goffstein?
Let me check. Nope, nothing on Heather Goffstein. Sorry.
Nothing on Heather, okay.
Well, I better go. Thanks for the help.
Sure.
Okay, our next move is to help. Spoiler alert: Peter and Heather haven't. Their ghosts haven't been destroyed. They're still there, and it's our job to save them.